So you wait all month for your favorite motorcycle magazine to be delivered to your front door. You tear that sucker open, and within minutes, you're flipping through the pages. But did you ever consider what it takes to put that magazine together? Well, in the following video, we're going to show you. The Cycle Source Magazine World Headquarters, as they are in Tarentum, Pennsylvania, about 15 minutes north of Pittsburgh. The offices occupy the entire bottom floor of my house, and for the past 13 years, the magazine has occupied most of my life. We decided to make a video documentary to show people what it's like to publish a magazine inside of 30 days. We put up the video cameras, follow the staff around, and see what everyday life is like for the Cycle Source magazine. So generally it starts with me in the office. I start ignoring phone calls at about 7:30 in the morning while I go through my emails, the 50 or so blogs that I read, and any place I can grab news on what's going on in the industry. It'll be about 9 o'clock until Gene comes down, and together we set out to plan for what we're going to have in the magazine for the month. A short time later, it's back upstairs to get ready to take on the post office. We ship out hundreds of boxes like this every month, whether they're back issues or magazines that we need people to hand out for shows. This is one of the most time-consuming tasks that we have to carry out. The post office sucks. You probably noticed already in this video that there's almost not a time that I don't have a cell phone attached to my ear. That's what still amazes me when people tell me that they can never get a hold of me on the phone, because it seems to me like I'm never off of it. Still, it's part of what we do, so I try to make the best of it and use my time driving back and forth to the bank and the post office to return people's messages and get a little extra done.
Funny dress with a wig and play a different voice on their culture, and that's the only way that there's a gene.
Work begins each month back in the office, where we use a few dry erase boards to outline what items will be featured in each issue. The first page we work on, of course, is the cover, and from there we try to pick feature bikes that go along well with it. Sometimes we'll spend as much as a full day on the cover design before we move on to any other part of the magazine. I still do a majority of the graphic design myself, because this gives us the ability to be more in touch with the look and feel of what we're doing. It also gives us the ability to make changes quick. Now in this particular month, I had promised earlier on that I was going to hand engrave the trophy for New Orleans Bike Week for the Best of Show winner. This seemed like a really good idea in the beginning, but once I got about 40 hours into the project, I realized that this is probably not a thing I should try all the time, especially running right alongside our deadline. I'd end up having just enough time to get it done for New Orleans, but before I could head out there, I'd have to make a side trip to Michigan for the Davidson Express Spring Show. In addition to the Michigan Chopper Fest, Davidson Express sponsors 2 shows a year in downtown Otsego. This year they had celebrity judges Chris Carr, Donnie Luce from Sucker Punch Sally's, and myself. Now the coolest thing about this show, from my point of view, was the fact that most of the customers and friends that Larry has are really into racing. We saw everything at this show, from old flathead flat track racers to this twin-engine BSA hill climber. Anybody that's been to a national motorcycle rally will recognize Larry right off the bat. He's more than an active participant, and in general, an all-around ambassador for the culture. My night times in Otsego were spent in Larry's camper trailer, getting extra work done on my laptop. Yeah, this is life on the road. LD was a gracious host, and in spite of this helmet, I agreed to go on a ride with him and his buddies. In the end, I was really glad that I did, because it was where I ran into this old boy, Thomas Hyde, 70 years old, and man, he had the stories to share with us. Tom's garage seems to be the local hangout, with a giant fire pit outside. This place is usually full all weekend long. But what really blew our minds was when he took us in the garage and started pulling covers off bikes.
Well, there's no history to it. I raced it 25 years already.
You've been riding it, it shook out.
I got it off a guy in the trade for a stock bike for this one, and I run Daytona 21 years.
Here, give me this one. Let me see if I can find you one. I didn't bring it.
I run the Ginger Man, I run Mid-Ohio with it. Done good every place I went with it. But of course I changed the cams and a bunch of shit. Well, I'm going to run, I'll probably run down to Ginger Man again over by South Haven in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell, I race it wherever I can race it. But, you know, I'm 70 years old. It don't mean shit to me. I'm not 70 years old on a year. My wife even said, something wrong. She said, all you do is get up in the morning and ready to go. When you hit pretty ready. Well, I think that's pretty good, you know. And I don't get up at 8 and home my body. I guess I'm all right. Maybe the rest of the world messed up, you know. You never know.
I'd like to thank Chris from Second Source, Chris Carl, the famous Prince of Peoria TV, Johnny Newton, Thunderbird Sally, coming right down here in downtown Otsego, your biker-friendly town. Davidson Express, established in 2006.
After 2 days in Michigan, it was time to hit the road again. I'd grab a flight out and catch up with the rest of the Cybersource crew in New Orleans.
Baggage in the baggage claim area. On behalf of the Chicago.
This was definitely not a typical month as far as the traveling goes. Normally we put about 40,000 miles a year on the bikes just to get to the events. But the only way we could get everything done we needed to in this weekend was to split up and cover different things and get back together at the end. But we'll go over that in part 2.